Udayan is not there? Okay. All right, let's get started. Okay. All right. Kush, so I can't, oh, I can see you now. Um, could you, um, could you maybe, the way I'll do this is I'll ask the first round of questions and then maybe Kush can leave and then we'll open it up to the audience to ask the questions. Kush, I'm an avid traveler and I've stayed all over the world in different hotels and, what you were showing was very fascinating. What sort of, if I were to ask from a businessman perspective, what did you have to go, what made you think about, at what stage did you think about environment and sustainability? Was it something you did from the beginning or is it something that came along the way? What was that journey like?
Thank you so much. So when we were
You're on mute.
Sorry, you were able to hear me?
Yes.
All right. So actually, when we were thinking of launching our own brand, this is under the Bird Group. So this brand was the same company, the Bird Group. We got 10,000 employees on board as a company with 5 verticals. So when we were launching the hospitality vertical, we were very clear that we didn't want it to be a copy paste of another brand or another hotel. See, all hotels, the typical concept is all you need to open up a building with a box structure and you need to get an ROI as early as possible. Our way and our vision was very simple and we were very clear in terms of the quality. We were very clear that there is a huge market which definitely wants an environment to be protected and everybody in the world is talking about saving the environment. We started thinking on what we can do when we are launching a brand, how our brand should be different from the rest of the hotels and resorts world across. That was the vision right from the day one. In fact, the first picture which we saw of the Delhi resort, this actually was the farmhouse of the owners earlier. There were 1,500 trees, so even if you come in the resort right now, you'll find 1,500 trees in the resort. You've got peacocks at times, you still come out there, but you have a lot of noise, which is the pleasant noise of the birds still out there. When we were building these rooms out there, we made sure that all the trees were uprooted from their roots and they were replanted in the other part of the resort. So what I'm trying to say is there's not even a single tree which was cut in the resort when we built up the entire resort. So the focus right from day one was very clear. Whatever we will do, we will make sure we will take the environment, water, air, and the community hand in hand along with each other. Thank you.
Awesome. Good to hear. Thank you, Kush. Thanks for joining. I'll ask my next question to Raghu because apparently Raghu is also in a hurry to leave. He's got other appointments. So Raghu, I'd just like to quickly ask you, wear your consul hat and tell me how Poland and India can work together in some of these initiatives.
In terms, hello, is it audible?
No. Yeah.
Hello, yeah. In terms of green technology, you're speaking, right? Yeah, Poland is also, I think, the second largest country in green technology in Europe. So there are many technological companies, which I told you about this, in STPs or MSW, waste to energy or sludge to energy. So we can work out, we can, a Polish company which has well established past 30 years there. So they can, they can be a technical partners for Indian companies in waste management sector and sewage treatment plants.
Thanks, Raghu.
Thank you.
You can leave if you.
I'm so sorry. I have to leave because I have appointment with the minister now. So thank you very much, Joe. Thank you, Chandru.
Thank you.
Thank you all the panelists. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Let me come to Udayan. So, you spoke about clean air, especially indoor clean air.
Right.
What has your experience been? What sort of challenges have you faced when you set up the company? How did you convince people that this is something important? What was that journey like? Maybe quickly in 2 minutes.
Sure. Thank you for asking that. So yeah, so when we started in 2018, the awareness around indoor air pollution per se was not there at all. And the very core fundamental reason was it was very, very unaffordable to have indoor air purification. And when we started, we realized that that was the last thing on their minds. Although there are very strong reasons to have indoor air purification, especially in a country like India, which has most of the polluted cities. But when we realized, they said we want to do it, but it's very difficult. It's very expensive, and there is no assurance. Even if we invest so much, how do we know it's clean? Because unlike water or unlike temperature, we can't feel the pollutants unless it's very bad. Like for example, in Delhi now we can feel, but whole year the pollution is high. So that's where we thought, that's where the core principles of affordability, measurability, and accountability came into the picture. That okay, let's make it affordable. So then we came up with this business model where we say we will not charge anything upfront and we'll only charge on a monthly basis. For accountability, we said that okay, we'll only charge if the air quality is being maintained. And then we said that how can we do it? By leveraging technologies. So we developed predictive maintenance system where we can predict the life of a filter, which is one of the patented systems. We obviously, both me and Ayush, we are not from this background. How we started was very simple. We faced a personal issue with air quality, and we thought, actually we started that we'll make very affordable air purifiers for B2C application. But when we came into the REAP program, and they helped us get that perspective, if you want to, create a category, this category did not exist. So B2B premium grade A real estate is the way to go. Because if you look at water purification, 20 years ago, only 5-star hotels used to have water purifiers. Now everybody has that. So similar kind of a journey will be there. We believe that there will be a brand which will own
But
air.
why would people want to invest in it? How did you convince them?
Right. So another reason is that all the grade A real estate, they look for certifications. So like LEED certification, so WELL certification. So before the pandemic, that was our selling point. If you have this, you will get these points and you can increase your, basically what you're charging the tenants, right? So that was the initial selling point. Then with the pandemic, the entire conversation has changed. Now people want, but now the topic is all about the affordability part. So that's how we have been doing it.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Udayan. I'll ask the same question to Anish because you would have probably faced similar challenges, right? Although yours is a little more tangible in terms of you can show ROI, whereas for him it is probably difficult to show ROI in the beginning.
There's no ROI, it's only wellness. It's like,
Yeah.
why do we drink clean water?
Yeah, that's why I asked you that question.
Right.
But I'd like to ask you the similar question. I mean, what sort of challenges did you face when you started?
Okay. Hello. In our case, the biggest challenge what we are facing is like one of our biggest market is the private builders, the residential complexes. The main problem is like most of the apartments are not metering friendly plumbing system they installed. In that case, each apartment will have multiple inlets. So if even though the residents association is going for a metering system, the first problem is like the cost, because each apartment need to install 3 or 4 meters per apartment.
Do you face any challenges with the authorities and regulatory issues, or you don't? You just work directly with the private people?
No, actually, the government policies are very much favoring to us by the introduction of smart cities. The smart metering concept is very much popular by, I think, by 2015, 2016. So when we started in 2018, the government policies are more or less favorable for us. So that's not an issue for
That's not
us.
an issue for you.
Yeah.
You work directly with the builders.
Right. The builders, we are getting a lot of inquiries from the apartment side because they want to meter the consumption. Because in earlier stage, what they are doing is like they are taking the average as per the square feet basis. So the apartment who are using less number of water is a little bit frustrated at the end of the month, even if they are using less, but they are ended up in paying more. So it will cause a lot of friction at the end of the month when the bills are generated. So the association want to meter the consumption. Then the problems comes with the multiple inlets. Then what we did is like we completely restructure the plumbing and convert it to a single inlet, so that it will be easier to go with the single metering system, and it will be more easier for them. Once the meters installed, they will get to know their actual consumption, and they can generate the actual bill as per the consumption at the end of the month, and the billing system will be more transparent.
So you're able to show tangible
Yeah,
outcomes.
right.
That's great to hear. Thanks for that. Let me come to Ankita and Shraddha from the university. What is your experience been in terms of sort of promoting a new curriculum or a new product as such? Coming from the industry, I like to use the word product, but it's a new program for you, right? What sort of challenges have you faced? What's the future you see for this?
Yeah, actually, the future is like, right now the era is about sustainability. And now, because of these startups, the change makers, the students are now really getting connected. And it's all about NEP, which we are going to soon implement, I would say, 2020, which is like a skill based, education and outcome based education. So there's an OBE which we are implementing, and when students connect with us, so we tell that these are the real problems, and you have to encounter with some new skills, new skill sets, new knowledge, and which is leading to sustainability. I
Are
think
you having to sell it more, or it's coming more organically? Are more people getting
no
interested?
more are interested. I would think you can share your experience as well.
Well, the first thing Indian students ask me is, what are the placements like? Where will I get a job and how much will be my package?
Absolutely.
And sustainability is the talk of the town for maybe last 20 years, Kyoto Protocol, as you know, maybe for last 30 years, but has become a major thing in last 5-6 years, something like that. And the demand for labor has not yet been generated in the market. A regular MBA can do the work that an MBA in sustainability management can do, is a perception that is still there in the industry as well as with respect to the students. So that becomes one of the problems while talking to the students, especially the Indian students. They do not really study because they like something. They're studying to get a good job because there is, of course, an ROI associated with that. So that becomes at times a problem. But despite that, by and large, since we are all talking about this particular issue, there is awareness between a small niche of students, especially those who have worked in industries, who have seen certain issues with respect to the topic, and that is why there is selected number of students who genuinely want to do it, but this is a major problem that I personally faced. Yeah.
Thanks, Ankita and Shraddha. In the interest of time, I'll keep moving. Tarun, congratulations on your 100th customer. I know, being an entrepreneur myself, I know it's a big deal. Congratulations. So what is, maybe quickly in 2 minutes, if you can share, how did you come up with this idea? What drove you to, I think you kind of shared that a little bit, but
yeah.
what I would really like to understand is, what really caused this, right? Where did that trigger come from?
Yeah, like I mentioned in the call, in the session, I live near the lake which catches fire. So there's always a design. I was not in environment science. Only last 8 years I'm in environment science. So I was in IT security and IBM and different companies, completely different space. But this is a burning issue and we have to do something about it. And my own community was letting water to the lake, like every community. So that was the thing. So why am I letting my water to the lake?
Why this non-traditional way versus a traditional?
Yeah, so the only way to do this is to put a traditional way, that like this hotel I keep saying, we put a big motors, filters. Association on apartment cannot, the residence community cannot afford to put a complex machinery, and we are sure it will not work for more than 6 months. So that's how we started working on this solution, and there are solutions available. It's like we improved a little bit, and we got a lot of help from Biomimicry Institute based out of US, Montana. So they are the technical collaborators. A lot of help from how do you copy a cow stomach, how to replicate. So a lot of technical mentoring came from them. Brigade Reap is a business partner. So they really got a lot of how do you scale up a startup. So that lots of business mentoring came from them. So that's how we put together and focus, very deep focus. We do only STPs, not rain to harvest, anything else. Just be at it for 1,000 days, and yeah, that's what it helped.
Awesome. No, that's a great story what you shared. I think congratulations and all the best.
Thank you.
Gokul, you shared some fantastic outcomes from your from the work you have done. That was really phenomenal to hear. I'll ask you the same question again. I mean, what was it like when you started? Again, yours is a little bit of a, I don't know what's going on. How do you show me ROI? How do you show me tangible results? When you started, what was the journey like?
So I started this as part of my academic project. By the way, I'm a 2016 passed out engineer. So it's a little bit of challenging than other challenges because I don't have any work experience, neither the entrepreneurship experience. So I started this as part of my academic project. Later, I worked as a research associate in IIT Madras and started looking at these energy signatures, breaking down into what equipment, how the patterns generate, understand the nitty-gritty of that. And later, that point of time, I was working for Amazon as a cybersecurity engineer, and the job didn't keep my brains feed. So I thought, like, let's take a break and we'll start figuring out this research much more. Until 2019, we were working into this energy signatures, and that is the point where I believe that the product is commercially able to sold. And then we came across this Fortis and Manipal, which gave us this case studies, and then that's the flight we had taken.
Okay, thanks. All right, in the interest of time, we will not take too many questions, maybe one or two and it has to be a question. We will not entertain any comments because of the time, but if there is a question, burning question you want to ask any of the panel members,
Yes.
Please raise your hand and let us know who you are and ask that question quickly.
Yes.
Maybe one or two.
Plus, another thing, we will squeeze out the coffee break now. Coffee is always available just there. You can bring it and come. We'll have coffee break in the end. So, so immediately we start the next session. So in case your question has not yet reached your, you've not yet formed it, you have time. All these guys will be here for coffee in the end, so you can catch them. Can I suggest all of you to come forward to take a group picture? By then, if somebody comes up for a question, yes. Otherwise, we will.
Before that, I just wanted to say, I wanted to give Jose a standing ovation for what he's created. I think in my mind, it's something, it's visionary in many ways, right? This is a burning issue, to create something during these times, pandemic times, during difficult times, to create something like this. Many of us are enjoying being back in the conference and in a space like this, right? You deserve a big round of applause.
Thank you.